Well, well, well. And welcome to another day in the United States of Fuck This Place. We're going to run through a few news stories in this video because I'm behind on the tea. I had so much to do yesterday, I barely poured any for you. So you want to get to it? Okay. Let's start out with Petey Kegsbreath and his war crimes as of late. You see, he's still doing those muck duck red rum plays in the Caribbean seas, they say. They killed 4 people in a boat strike the other day. That makes at least 163 people have been killed by the Pedo-in-Chief's regime's campaign against suspected drug smuggling. That's right. It wasn't good enough for Petey Kegsbreath to move on from the Caribbean and kill children in the Middle East. He's still killing fishermen in the Caribbean seas. And by the way, did you see the big backbone spud Biff the other day throw Petey under the bus, they say? I wonder how that cockerhead cracker Klansman feels today, that white Christian nationalist, to know that the orange hoe is protecting a Zionist Jew, Netanyahu, and throwing the crackerhead under the bus. Yes. That's right, Petey. You see, you're not a billionaire and you don't control the United States today. You haven't occupied it, as they say. So the orange hoe threw you under the bus and beep, backed over you too to protect that Zionist Jew. Petey's probably too stupid to figure that out today. And talk about stupid plays within our military, they say. He's, changed the age in which you can join the army, dear, up to 42. Yes, when that arthritis kicks into your knees, your ankles, and your hands, boo. And you can be on that herb, according to Petey now, these days. But when it comes to being a female in the military, well, there's no promotions for you. You're only allowed to die for that cockerhead cracker Klansman fool. That's right. The Defense Secretary, Petey Kegsbreath, is blocking the promotion of 4 Army officers to be 1-star generals, a highly unusual move that has prompted some senior military officials to question whether the officers, 2 of whom are black and 2 women, are being singled out because of their race or gender. They are. He is a white Christian nationalist. His spiritual advisor, who he invites to do prayer ceremonies at the Pentagon, believes women shouldn't vote, believes that if women are beat half to death by their husband, they should keep their mouth closed and not call the police. And he also admits fully that he has pedophiles within his own flock. You know, his church. They sit in the pews next to children, dear, and he's okay with that because he thinks he can pray their demonic predilections away. So yes, he absolutely did it on purpose because of their gender and their skin color. And it's not just his spiritual advisor, you see, who's prone to violence and hate against women and melanation in this nation. If you'll remember, just the other day, his pastor prays for violence and death for Talarico because they're scared. They already know. But either way, his pastor said, we want to crucify him with Christ. You mean like the bad guys? Because it was the bad guys that crucified Christ, not the good guys. So I guess you're fully admitting today, being the pastor of that cockerhead cracker Klansman, that you are not a Christian, but the enemy, you know, like they told us Satan was to be. Yeah, baby, yeah. On to some more stories for the day. I can't even remember what I've covered already. Anyway, it is a Friday, so there should be a FAFO at play. That's a fuck around and find out kind of day. Florida's immigration crackdown is showing cracks. We're hurting people. Some conservative sheriffs have raised concerns about the aggressive enforcement tactics of the governor, little shoe-lift Ron DeSatan, baby, a Republican. Yeah. Uh-oh. You mean the Republican crew and the conservatives, too, have a problem with these mass deportation plans that are going on in these lands? Yeah, that's a FAFO in the brew. Those midterms are about to be really fucking blue. We tried to warn all of you. Yes, we did, boo. And now you're knowing today exactly how that orange hoe and the cockhead cracker clansmen that he be, like little fucking baby Nosferatu and his tiny little jackboot, Stephen Miller, who's scared of sidewalk chalk and is living in military housing today. That's how the fuck they like to play. They won't get out in the streets with all this violence. They just encourage it, baby. Oh, and a judge ruled the other day. Yes, a federal judge out of Manhattan came out to say that these Frozen Crew plays where they're going into courtrooms and arresting people doing it properly, yeah, that's illegal. Yeah. They ruled that to be illegal because it's illegal, and we already knew it was illegal. And clearly, this regime was not about coming after criminals who were not doing it the correct way, baby. So it's not working out good for the mass deportation plays. And no matter how you want to rebrand that shit today, that's one of the reasons you'll lose your vote, GOP, in the midterms and every special election, too. Like the one that was ripped away from the Red Hat crew down there in Florida, you know, in Palm Beach. Poor Orange Daddy lost out to a Democratic, educated woman, honey. I know there's more tea in the brew. Let me take a sip of my coffee and we'll get to it, boo. Let's talk about the unnecessary war plays and how they're not working out for the big backbone spur Biff today. If you'll remember, he told other nations it would be okay for them to go through the Strait, that we would escort them in some kind of fabulous way. Well, when Iran heard that news, they were like, oh no, I don't think so, Orange Dude. We control the Strait of Hormuz. And we'll decide who the fuck gets through. Iran starts to formalize its chokehold on the Strait of Hormuz with a toll booth regime. And they've already let Malaysia through. This is absolutely true. Making the Orange Dude look an absolute fool. And let's talk about the cost of this war, because the orange horse sits up there and rambles on about Sharpie pens and tells you that everything's great. As a matter of fact, headlines read on local news yesterday that the cost of our oil was starting to drop right away. But the part that they left out, dear, is that the cost of the crude, it went down less than a quarter of a penny, which we don't even produce anymore. So you're not going to see that at the gas pump, baby. You're not going to see it on the shelf either. The cost of everything is rising exponentially, like oil prices that continue to climb daily, you know, because he keeps trying to manipulate the markets. Well, the markets are starting to figure out not to believe what the orange man has to say, no matter how loud he screams or shouts. And this means everything will get more expensive, dear, and I do mean everything. From your food supply, which is facing a dangerous bottleneck as this war persists, even your mortgage rates are jumping again. You know, the ripple effects through the housing market have begun because of this unnecessary war in Iran, hun. And while you can't afford the cost of your home today, the cost of the energy to keep it cool or lit in any kind of way, and the Treasury is insolvent, they say, don't you worry, Orange Daddy's got another project on the way. He's found another room in the White House to renovate. That's right, he has got his eyes on redoing the House Treaty Room. They've got to keep the toddler busy today so the players behind the scenes can continue to rape the US of A. It's so easy to distract Orange Daddy. All you have to do is hand him a shiny little pen with his name on it, friend, or give him a room to renovate with some gold curtains, too. Anything to distract him away from the fact that his base is fractured and frayed, and they're not going to win in the midterms, friend. As a matter of fact, so many members of the GOP, the Republican crew, they're tired of this unnecessary war, too. Like this GOP senator out of Alaska, Lisa Murkowski, or however the hell you say her name. Either way, she wants to rein in his war powers today. Somebody needs to rein in more than that, dear, because it's starting to look like he never intends on leaving the White House, friend, since he's renovating it every other day and making something else gold and ugly and tacky to put on display. Yeah. Is he trying to flip the fucking White House, baby? Is he flipping the White House? Who's he giving it to? Will it be Dudu Netanyahu? Voldemort Poontang? Who exactly is going to have their hands on this new renovation project once it gets through? Because it's not going to be JD, no matter how hard he tries, baby. But it's clear to see Daddy's got big plans not to leave. Anyway, what all did I put in this video today? I think there's more tea in the brew. I'll be back to pour it for all of you.